So ladies, look, just divest. Abort and divest. Just divest. Abort and divest.
There's quite a bit that I need to get off my chest throughout the course of this production. So we're going to be here for a little while. Therefore, I advise each and every one of you to listen to me very carefully. And let me, of course, run down my usual formation for those of you who appreciate the productions made on this channel and have been long-term listeners of mine. Then I want you to start off by giving me the big thumbs up. Get my likes up in this production. As I told you, YouTube has shadow banned this channel for since back in 2020, late 2020, early 2021. So we're talking about close to 3 years now. Furthermore, share the productions on the channel. And for those who would like to leave some sort of a donation in support of the productions made on this channel, you can feel free to leave a donation via the links in the description box. Now, with that being stated, I have caught wind and read the comments for those who are stating that they are having a hard time listening to the last production that I made because the music was a little too loud. I'll say this, I listened to the production before I uploaded it. I was able to hear it fine, but maybe some of you might be having a hard time hearing it throughout the beginning. I set the volume somewhere around 7 to 8%, so I figured that was pretty low enough. I'll try a little bit lower next time. However, since I've gotten enough complaints about that, I'm deciding for this production that I'm not going to have any music playing in the background, or at least there shouldn't be. Also, what I would say to those who are listening to that production, it starts off very low on my voice because I typically start off my productions pretty calm. But as time goes on, it will get better because that's when I usually build up more momentum as I'm talking and my bass gets louder, my tone of voice gets louder, so you should be able to hear me as time goes on. However, what I might do, if people are still having a hard time with that production, depending on how many people request it in the comment section, because I have the raw audio to that production, and I can upload it as an unlisted video and leave the link in the description box depending on how many people request me to do so, and you can listen to it without having to deal with the music in the background. Now, with that being stated, as I told y'all, or as the title stated in that last production, that I was going to do a part 2 to the Termination of Cynthia G's YouTube channel. And the question that I started off by asking is, what did Black women learn behind Cynthia G's channel being terminated? Or better yet, not even from that, but there's something you could have learned from that as well. But what did you learn from Cynthia G in particular? Because as I stated in that last production, every time I make a video pertaining to this individual, I'm going to get Black women that are going to come to our comment thread talking about how much they've learned from her. Oh, man, I'm learning so much. Oh, she's teaching me. She's really waking up Black women. And I just gave a few things in that last production that tell me where the results have actually showcased. And this is what a problem that I'm noticing amongst Black women. Unfortunately, a lot of you are sitting here putting energy, effort, and resources into things that produce absolutely no tangibles in your life. And the scary part is you're more than willing and happy to do it. Despite the fact that you know these things don't produce any resources, they produce no tangible benefits in your life, but yet and still, you are more than willing to get behind people who just extract from you, who will give you just pretty much marinate your mind in negativity. or degeneracy, and yet and still, black women will support this. Let's just think about Cynthia G for a second. Let's just think about her level of intelligence. All right? Cynthia G made what? Roughly around $20,000 a year? I mean, excuse me. No. Let me rephrase. I'm getting everything mixed up. She made about $20,000 a month, anywhere between 15 to 20 grand a month. So let's just take the latter of the two. If she was making 20 grand a month in a year, she would be making over $240,000. That's a nice chunk of money. That's well above a six-figure income. And with that $240,000 she was making a month, or a year, I should say. Let's say you take away taxes out of that. They'll probably deduct the whole 40 grand. You got a child in the mix, or let's just say they take away the 40,000. So you make $200,000 a year. All right. What was Cynthia G's responsibility level with that money? If you make that kind of money a year, I mean, you can literally make YouTube a thing in the past. Hey, I just get side money off of this, but I can go into some other ventures to where I don't have to rely on YouTube to make a living. But she was literally relying on YouTube to make ends meet. And how can I confirm this? It's just based off of how fast she wanted to put up a GoFundMe the moment her channel got demonetized. The channel was only going to be suspended for a week, but YouTube makes it perfectly clear that you cannot attempt to circumvent the suspension by creating another channel or even uploading videos to alternative channels, because that can lead to all your channels being terminated. Despite the fact that YouTube makes that perfectly clear. Now, once again, this is supposed to be a college-educated woman with a college-educated background, has a degree in psychology, if I'm not mistaken, but didn't have enough wits about her to pay attention to what YouTube was telling her. Don't circumvent this suspension. Wait out the process. And if you're making $20,000 a month, you should have more than enough money stacked away for a rainy day to where you can hold yourself down for a little bit. But Cynthia G immediately goes ahead to create another channel. And this just shows you how dumb she really is. Because you've made so many enemies. Just like Cynthia, I told y'all in the last production, back in 2018, I literally had seen it with my own two eyes. She was on a live stream crying that she is no longer employable. That didn't dawn on her. When her initial channel got flagged down, that didn't dawn on her to say, wait a second, let me just pump the brakes here. So out of everything that has taken place, nothing has dawned on her to say, you know what, maybe at some point I need to just stop because this isn't going to end well. Here you are, a woman trying to make it in a man-dominated world, regardless of however you feel about it or not. This is just the reality. This is not a matter of me being sexist. This is not a matter of me being on some caveman bullshit, some tyrannical nonsense. No, this is me calling it out for what it is. This is a male-dominated world. And what Cynthia G has done has alienated herself. Now, she's too stupid and dysfunctional to have any kind of real connection with a man who's going to actually back her. So it's safe to say that her having a man in her life, or as in a relationship wise, we know that's not the case. She's too intolerable. No man with means would put up with her long enough, or even for 1 second. So as impulsive as she is, she goes ahead and creates another channel, and she doesn't even stop to think that, okay, this channel, my main channel, is currently under suspension because of genocidal talking points that I've made in the video. And she can sit up here and play stupid if she wants to, and maybe she really is that stupid. Maybe I'm giving her too much credit than what she deserves. Because if you believe, or if you don't think for 1 second that sitting up here and espousing the talking points and attempting to make it trendy of aborting black male babies is not hate speech, it's not hatred. I mean, just look it up. Look up YouTube's terms of service. Just read it. Regardless of whether you agree with it or not, you have to acknowledge that that would fall under hate speech. But once again, the woman with a college-educated background is too far gone in her own delusion to be able to comprehend this, to be able to process this. So not only does she attempt to get a what is it? A GoFundMe, which just really lets you know she's probably living check by check. But she also attempts to go ahead and circumvent the strike. Now, if she was going to do this, she probably should have just said nothing. But she's dumb enough to get on somebody else's channel knowing that you are disliked. And this is what happens when you back yourself into a corner where people don't like you. You can't just say that YouTube didn't deem those videos to be necessary, but a lot of people liked your content. No. You have literally put yourself in a situation where people don't like you. And I remember reading other comments of people saying, listen, I already reported this shit to YouTube. This revolution shall not be televised. Well, guess what also won't be televised? Your YouTube channel. And that shit came down. So this is essentially what you're dealing with. It's someone who's impulsive, who lacks critical thinking, who can't gauge the environment or the climate around them to know how to navigate accordingly so you can still move safely in certain spaces. Someone who would literally do things to make enemies. Because I'm going to make it perfectly clear to a lot of y'all that sit here and listen to Cynthia G, y'all love her so much. Oh, she's telling us about you dusties. Guess what? You need a man in some way, shape, or form or capacity. Because if men decide to stop doing for you collectively, you're done. You're done. There's nothing about the delusional rhetoric that she was giving you that you can even remotely say is somehow a benefit. And if you are so far gone that you need to listen to a Cynthia G video in order to learn something, I don't really, and you see that she can't even, she's incapable of learning herself. What does it mean to learn? Okay, you learn what's going on in the environment around you. YouTube has been rigorously changing up their policies. You learn to adapt. Okay, I see what you're doing. Certain things I can't talk about anymore. See, y'all can sit up here and talk about black men in the manosphere or whatever. And I made it clear I ain't a part of that damn manosphere. But the one thing about a lot of these dudes is they're smart enough to know how to adapt. That's what you call learning. Cynthia G couldn't do that even though the train wreck was coming right in her backyard and she was too slow to see it. But yet I'm going to get black women that are going to come to my comment section and say that we are learning so much. As far as what? She didn't even know how to properly manage her finances. Now, maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. So I'm not speaking under no uncertain terms. But just based off of her pattern and her reaction compared to what took place, how quickly she went ahead and threw up a GoFundMe, asking for people to get to meet the goal of what, $15,000. Now, some of y'all are going to say, well, this was one of her supporters that put this up. No, this was her that put this shit up. This is her. Now, she'll mask it under the guise of this isn't me. This is just one of my supporters. Okay, how's it going to get linked to your bank account? This has to be under your name. You have to give them routing numbers, bank account numbers, checking account numbers. All of this stuff has to be done. So how can somebody set this up for you? You know, I don't got to go into the damn details. Once again, I'm going to say this much. If you were under the impression that someone else set up that GoFundMe for her and it wasn't her, I don't know what to tell you. This is just her way of trying to save face to say, hey, see, I'm not really pressed for cash. This is just how much I have support. No. That makes absolutely no goddamn sense. She's pressed for cash. Let's reach a goal of $15,000 and then the number that they put up, the number. First of all, I don't know how the hell anybody knows how much money she got off of YouTube or when they found this out. So this is a kind of a tricky question, but whoever put up this they're claiming that she didn't put this up, but I know she did. But let's just say somebody actually did. How would they know what she actually was receiving a month? Was she telling her subscribers what she makes a month? Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. But if she didn't, if none of you ever heard of her saying this, the question is, how would they know if it wasn't actually her putting up this number? Because they could have said, okay, get her $1,000, get her $5,000, $7,000, $10,000. That should be enough. No, $15,000. And according to what I'm hearing, she was making roughly around 15 to 20 grand a month on YouTube. So whoever this was, put up an identical number to what she was roughly making on YouTube. But yet y'all don't believe that this is her who put up this GoFundMe. The reason why I say this is because this is the action of somebody who's desperate. That's why I believe this is her who put up that GoFundMe. This is the actions of somebody who is desperate, the actions of somebody who is living check to check, the actions of somebody, you might have been getting $240,000 a year or $20,000 a month on YouTube. But what this showcases to me is that this is an individual that wasn't putting money away to the side, or if she was, it was very little. Not enough money that can actually compensate or cover her expenses for a little while had she needed to. What it lets me know, this is someone who's probably living right on the borderline or the threshold of what she was making, probably moved to some nice lavish apartment building, paying an expensive, exorbitant amount of money of rent, probably some rental where she doesn't own any goddamn thing. Wasn't smart enough to think, maybe I should get into some real estate. You could buy a condo. You could probably buy a townhouse, multiple dwellings, something to where if anything happens to your money here on YouTube, you're straight. And if she was smart, she would have been focused on getting off of YouTube. Because that's the goal. You do YouTube as a hobby, not to make your main bread and butter. Because YouTube has been pulling the plug on people for the longest. Anybody who couldn't see this, I don't know what to tell you. And if you're going to be popular on YouTube, then you don't want to be popular for pissing people off. You don't want to be popular for talking hate speech. You don't want to be popular for saying things that are outright offensive to a particular group. Because now like I said about Cynthia G, she has backed herself into a corner to where YouTube is giving her the axe. And the bulk of her money was coming from YouTube. I don't give a damn what she tries to say about her subscribers or whatever. You see, they couldn't even get up $3,000 for her in the time frame that she was asking. So this just lets you know how many people are willing to put money in her damn pocket. Now, y'all can sit up here and say, well, she'll go to another platform and she's doing just fine. Well, she can go to another platform. Hell, she can even get a large following in another platform. However, the real bread and butter as far as making a sustainable income, that would be through YouTube. Why? Because YouTube is heavily corporatized. That's the best answer I can give you. This is why you can't go 2 seconds without seeing a damn ad pop up, another commercial pop up. The reason why they're now telling you can't even use ad blockers anymore to stop all these goddamn commercials. Oh, you want to skip the ad? Okay, immediately comes up, would you like to pay for YouTube Premium? But anyhow, that's a subject for a later discussion. Bottom line is what I'm saying is this. When I'm listening to black women talk about what they have learned from Cynthia G, she has stayed or has put herself into a ditch. She is in a rut that she cannot get out of. I told y'all this in the last production. Unwilling to use critical thinking, unwilling to see that the environment was changing, the climate was changing, and I need to adapt accordingly. I mean, it's pretty simple. We all do this in our basic everyday life, right? We're in fall season. We went from summertime. Now we're into the fall. So the temperatures start to get cold. What happens? You throw on warmer clothes, right? You get in your car. Your car has a climate control system. You might keep the temperature set to one temperature. Guess what? It's starting to get cold. It went from making air conditioning a couple of weeks or a month ago, now to the point where you notice the car is making heat. Instead of running the AC in your home because of it being hot outside, what do? It's starting to get cold. You put the heat on. You learn to adapt. You realize, okay, things are changing. Let me put on a jacket. Let me wear a sweater. Let me put on a hat. Because why? Things are changing. So you adapt to the environment. The environment has forever been changing around Cynthia G. And this is based off of her own admission when she got on a fucking panel with one of the Moist Boys, talking about how often YouTube changes up their terms of service. So if you understood they were doing this, then why would you not adapt accordingly? And if you fail to be able to adapt, then what does that tell you about your level of intelligence? So when black women come back and say, well, she's so smart, we're learning, and there's this revolution, what is she as far as what? This is a joke, man. Seriously, this is an embarrassment. I mean, there's been a lot of things that have taken place within the past 3 years. And I told y'all, individuals who think like this are not going to be able to prepare you for this, for what's coming down the goddamn pike. Now we're on the brink of World War III. Tell me where any of these divestors are keeping you informed based off of this. Because it ain't black men that's your damn problem and that you're going to have to worry about. Since y'all want to be under their prayer, yeah, we just need to focus on these black men. I mean, this is a pitiful, pathetic group of females who really have nothing better to do with their goddamn time. All Cynthia G has done is cultivate a group of you bitter, angry females who have not gotten over your past trauma, and y'all really need to go ahead and seek professional help. This is pathetic at this point in time. That y'all sitting around listening to people espousing stupid talking points like this. Now, the funny thing is this. Cynthia G and Nyla Vibes used to have these live streams talking about who gonna check me boo. Who gonna check me boo? And this is a direct insult to black men. Who gonna check me boo? And just to sum this up to make it all nice and simple, really what they were doing, what you had were two females who thought shit was sweet. Who thought they couldn't be touched. Now, and this is just according to what I've heard on YouTube. I don't know how true it is. But Nyla Vibes had a channel of hers taken down. And according to what other people were saying, when this happened, she broke down in tears. She was crying. Wait a second, now if this is true, well, I thought no one was going to check you, boo. Well, what happened? Your ass got checked. Somebody came in and put... And now you have the same thing that has happened to Cynthia G. Who gonna check me, boo? Who gonna check me, boo? And now your ass is finding out the hard way. You can be checked. That you will be humbled, whether you like it or not. This is going to happen. So now when it comes down to Cynthia G's YouTube channel being demonetized and terminated, if I didn't state what my position is on that, let me go ahead and say it now. If I didn't say it in the last production, I'm not going to sit here and gloat and be gleeful that she has gotten terminated. No. But I can see how black men would feel a sense of joy, based off of her being terminated. And her termination was a necessary termination. This is a channel that needed to be taken down. And just based off of espousing hate speech, genocide of black male babies. As far as I'm concerned, you go down that route, that's it. There's nothing more to talk about. And here's an issue that I want to talk about as well. Is a lot of you black men sit up here and y'all want to talk about, well, she shouldn't have been flagged down. We should have brought her onto a panel to be debated. Well, black men didn't flag her down. And even if you don't think her channel should have been terminated, one of the problems that I have far too often is black men. You're going to have sitting on YouTube making videos wanting to be fair and balanced with every goddamn body, even when they are talking about your extermination. And see, for years now, I've been trying to really wake up the eyes, especially of black men, to really demonstrate or showcase how other groups of people function. They don't function like you. They don't think like you. But black men sit up here and still want to be fair and balanced. I don't give a fuck about fair and balancedness. I don't care to be fair and balanced with someone who's a straight up psychopath. I care to make sure that they can never harm anybody again. That's what I care about. That's what's most important to me. I don't care about being fair and balanced to Cynthia G. She can get screwed over 10 different ways from Sunday. I can give a fuck less. As far as I'm concerned, the bitch is dangerous. I care about the people that she is targeting, which are innocent black male babies. Defense that need their parents to do everything for them because they're defenseless. They can do absolutely nothing. Her logic and reasoning is, well, they're going to grow up to be the very same group of males that are oppressing us. There's no oppression here from black men, first and foremost. That's number one. And number two, the way they grow up is going to be based off of how you rear them. So essentially what you're doing is saying that black women don't know how to rear children. Because if you do a good job raising them, you won't have to worry about them becoming a problem to you. So now when I sit back and once again listen to those talking points of aborting black male babies, I don't care about Cynthia G's fairness. I don't care what happens to her from this point on. I am not speaking up in her defense. I could care less. If the worst of the worst happens to her, I can care less. I'm not going to be one to go, well, we can't do no. Fuck that shit. when you make it clear that you are here to separate, divide black men and women, listen, I got nothing for you. Nothing. But yet you are going to have black men who are going to sit up here and want to be fair and balanced. You're going to have black men that are going to sit up here and say, well, what we need to do is just have a debate. We don't need to have her terminated off of YouTube. Let's have a debate. And this is one of the biggest problems I've noticed amongst a lot of you black men. Hell, just a few days ago, I think it was 2 days ago, you had Sonetta. And I never gotten into what my perspective is about Sonetta. I mean, he was one that was affiliated with Brother Polite. I mean, I don't like that dude as far as Polite. I don't fuck with none of these individuals. Let me just make that perfectly clear. But this guy uploads a video. And I'm looking at the video. It's a live stream between him and Cynthia G. And it seems like it's old. She looks a little younger in the live stream. I'm thinking to myself, the stuff that they're talking about, voting season just happened. I'm saying, well, wait a second. We're on the verge of an election. It didn't happen yet. So he's re-uploading a video or a live stream or setting it to public just a few days ago after all of this stuff that has come out about Cynthia G's channel being terminated. What would you post this up for? But see, this is one of the problems. You have a lot of black men, instead of taking action, instead of setting precedents, and this is one of the biggest problems that we face in black society, is we lack a precedent. In addition to a lack of a code, we lack setting a precedent. And what you have are black men that would rather sit around and hold a dick swinging contest, a mic drop moment, stuff that serves absolutely no purpose. And see, a lot of y'all didn't understand what I was saying back in 2020 when I critiqued the Kevin Samuels Average at Best video. I told you that just by checking that one woman is not going to stop the piss poor behavior that you get out of these radical feminists. Because why? Verbally checking them means absolutely nothing. But what you are going to notice is that physically checking them actually means something. What examples can I give you? No better than Cynthia G. I keep going back and telling y'all because y'all keep saying, well, she was at one point pro-black. She was not then, nor has she ever been a pro-black. She was just a little bit more balanced at that time. I'm not even going to say fair, but just more balanced. She didn't just go in on black men. She also went in on black women. Not so much, but she also went in on white supremacy. So she was just a bit more balanced. She was never a pro-black. And at one point, she started going in hard on white men. What happened when she started going in hard on them? They shut her down. Listen, we created this goddamn platform. We don't mind freedom of speech, but we'll be damned if you're going to use our platform to spew out negative rhetoric about us, to push out negative narratives about us. We're shutting this shit down. What happened when they spanked her? Did she buck up and continue to double down? No, she didn't do so. What did she do? She backed down. She humbled down. Even to the point where she stated this a couple of years ago in the live stream, white men deserve submission because they earned it. So she's literally wanted to submit herself to white men because they have earned it. Because when she bucked up and got out of line, they didn't sit around holding debates with her. They didn't sit around going back and forth trying to have a mic drop moment with her. They didn't sit around trying to have a dick and tit swinging contest with her. They just put her in her place, and when she got spanked, what did she do? She bowed the hell down and submitted, whether she wanted to or not. Because all you're doing when you come out here and say that white men have earned submission because they deserve it, guess what? You're just letting me know that you have been buck broken or bedwinch, whatever you want to call it. The same way she wants to refer as black males as buck broken, you have admitted to your defeat. You have admitted that you are submitting yourself. Because not only that, what also happened to her? She is no longer employable. I told y'all this in the last production. She was on a live stream crying about this. And when she realized that white men not only have the means to shut your YouTube channel down, but we also have the means to see to it that you never get a job again. You'll be out here selling ass on OnlyFans. You keep fucking with us. What does she do? Does she go on white men? No, she does not. She gets them on her panels to allow them to trash mouth black men. So when she realized she's going to get spanked by them, she ain't going to sit up here and buck up. Neither will Nyla Vibes and none of these other goofy females who get online talking about who gonna check me, boo. The moment that white man spank your ass, all of a sudden you got checked. You gonna shut the hell up. Keep your mouth shut. Show some respect when you see me around, goddammit. That's how, and they respond like that. This is how they move, because they don't talk about them for nothing. I told you black men this years ago, the reason why they talk the shit that they talk about us is because we are the easiest target. There's no consequences behind this. Just the fact that it took a non-black woman to go out here and get this channel not only demonetized, but suspended. What's her name? I got the name right here. Ashley Bellinger? A white woman. It took to go out here and get that channel suspended. Now here's what y'all gonna notice. As much as y'all want to have dick and tits ringing contests, these same females who are going in on black men because Cynthia G ultimately ended up getting her own channel terminated. They're not gonna call that out. Then let me rephrase that. Because you do have black women who came out here and called this out. You do. But in many cases, what you are going to notice is that they're not going to say nothing to Ashley Bellinger. They're not going to come after her. They're not going to drag her. They're not going to do nothing. They're going to keep their goddamn mouth shut. Because they know if they go after her, even though she is just one white woman, they know there'll be consequences if they start pulling their bullshit with her. They know there'll be consequences if they attempt to come after her. They know they'll be getting slapped with paperwork, getting served with papers. You've been served. They don't want no parts of that. I want y'all to look at all the examples that have taken place around us. Okay? There's countless examples that we could look at. I'm going to go down a few of them in just a little while. But like I said, when it comes down to Cynthia G's channel being terminated, do you think she's going to actually sit up here and speak about Ashley Bellinger? Now, let me also say something else. Because a couple of years ago, she was sitting talking tough on a live stream. Talking about, listen, anybody start talking about me, saying foul stuff about me, is going to get served with paperwork. And it ain't nothing now, especially when you got the money to do it. I remember seeing that shit. I should have recorded that off of that damn live stream. Because she thought shit was sweet. I got money coming in off of YouTube. I'm living in nice, lavish places. I'm driving around in nice cars. Shit, you talk some greasy shit about me. Listen, I got the money to serve some papers your goddamn way. And who is she talking about? Black men, most certainly, and probably other black women who oppose her talking points. That's what she was talking about. Why? Because you're easy targets. Now, Ashley Bellinger got her channel taken. Oh, I'm not going to rephrase that. Got her channel demonetized and suspended. And really, she wasn't even the one. She was the one that just put the spotlight on it. It should have been demonetized and terminated a long time ago. Just based off of what she was saying. Ashley Bellinger was just the one who said, listen, y'all need to enforce the rules fairly on this platform. Because we know they've been coming after black men's channels for the longest. Do you think she's going to come after Ashley Bellinger? If any of y'all catch any wind of this, if something does happen, which I don't think it will, because like I told y'all, they get in line when it comes down to white folks checking them. They have absolutely nothing to say when white folk, they just shut up. Okay, let me just keep my mouth shut. I won't backtalk. I'll behave. I'll be submissive. Because according to Cynthia G, they deserve it and they've earned it. So she gonna bow down. Show some respect. When you start to process the mindset of an individual who thinks like this, why would you want to debate them? Why would you want to have they're talking about aborting your... I mean, first of all, I've told y'all years ago, and I said this is back when it was just swirlers I was talking about. And I told y'all that they were intellectually dishonest. Divestors are that much worse. They are just terrible. And as an example, when you're dealing with individuals who are dishonest, I'm just going to give a brief example. I found myself on a video of, what was it? And this is a female that I used to go in on years ago. Now, I'm not going to go in on her, but I am going to call out just the level of dishonesty. And some of y'all might remember her. She's still on this panel, Successful Ladies Live. How many of y'all remember? I think she also went by the channel named Leandra. Leandra Talks or something like that, or Celebrity Talks or whatever. I can't remember. She had a couple of channels. Now I'm sitting down and I'm listening because this is how I caught wind of this channel, because I'm looking at videos pertaining to Cynthia G, and she made a video about this. So I said, okay, let me sit down and listen, see what she has to say. And she's literally asking why are black men going after Cynthia G, trying to depict her as this pro-black. Now, I don't know whether she was being sarcastic or not. I didn't listen to enough of the live stream. It was too dishonest. Seriously, you're sitting up here asking, why is it that black men have a problem with Cynthia G? I mean, what the hell are we dealing with here? This is the same woman that sits up here talking about aborting black male babies, and you don't expect black men to have a problem with that. My question is, why wouldn't black women collectively have a problem with this? I mean, because what she is telling you is premeditated murder, but nonetheless, I mean, also this is this very same woman who had a fallout with the pink pill back in 2018. How many of y'all remember that? I did a classic breakdown of this when it first happened. Because the pink pill wanted to do some partnership with her, and she's like, no, I don't support abortion. And that's what should let y'all know something else about the pink pill. Because Successful Ladies Live stated one of the reasons why I didn't get involved with her, even though she was going hard in the paint, defending her. And that went on, January 2018, all the way up until February 2018? And then sometime mid-February, that stopped and the two of them had a fallout. And one of the things Successful Lady Live stated is that, well, I don't support abortion. So what was it that the pink pill was attempting to push onto Successful Ladies Live? Are you saying that she was pushing abortion on you? If you were watching this video, Leandra, if you were listening to me, was she trying to push abortion on you? And if so, of who? Was it any specific gender? But anyhow, I'll digress from that. But now Leandra, Successful Ladies Live, is on YouTube, so surprised that black men on why Cynthia G was defending y'all. She never was. At some point, she might have given some support, but she was never defending black men. As I told y'all back in 2015, this is the same woman that got online saying that black men need to bend over and spread their ass cheeks and let white guys run up inside of them. This is what she stated, because black men are so buck broken, dominated, and conquered. This is what she said. And you mean to tell me that this is y'all sitting up here saying we're supposed to support somebody who thinks like this? So on one hand, Leandra, Successful Ladies Live, you have a problem with the pink pill because she is talking about abortion while trying to form some partnership with you. You're against abortion. But now here you have a woman who is sitting back espousing the talking points that didn't even originate from her mouth, that came from Brooklyn Blue, and has made this become a trending talking point, a viral talking point of aborting black male babies. Now, I don't know how many other videos she done made about this, but my question is, do you have a stance on that? Because if you're against abortion, then clearly you should have an issue with a female saying some shit like this. And if you have an issue with that, then how can you not understand why black men would have a problem with this? But anyhow, that's just one area where I see dishonesty. For you to expect us to sit back and support a woman who is speaking to our genocide, that's dishonesty. The next thing, and this is probably the most I'm going to mention about her, and I'm talking about Successful Ladies Live, is that you're the same woman that's sitting here saying that you got on YouTube. I've been on YouTube since 2016. I've been on YouTube since 2016. I've been on YouTube since 2016. Now, I came to the comment thread when I heard that, and I had to respond to that. I responded to it then in the comment thread a couple of days ago, and now I'm responding to it now in this production. Successful Ladies Live, Leandra, Ladies Live, whatever you want to go by. You have not been on YouTube since 2016. Some of y'all might look at me as a relic. I don't really give a damn. I've been on this platform for many years. I started a channel back in 2010. That's when I started this channel. uploaded my first vlog video in 2011, January of 2011. I've been on YouTube for well over a decade. As I've told y'all in the last production, one of the first people I caught wind of was Robert Perkins. When I started up, and that was before I even uploaded the video. As I started uploading, Leandra, of course, she didn't go by Successful Ladies Live. I forgot what the name of the YouTube channel was then, but she had a YouTube channel back then. Because back then I used to even converse with her through the comment section every now and again. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the two of us actually made response videos debating the talking points that one another was saying. The last time I seen her around that time was in 2012, and then she disappeared. And I would say late 2016, 2017 is when I caught wind of her, and then she was on a whole nother tip. You have not been on YouTube since 2016. You're lying, and you know it. Hell, for all I know, you probably were on YouTube well before I was. So as long as I've been on YouTube, she's been on YouTube even longer. So when she sits on here and tells you, well, I just got on YouTube in 2016, that is a bold-faced fucking lie. And this right here, my question is this. Why? Why would you have to make that up? What reason would you have to say, why can't you just say, okay, I've been on YouTube for many years? Why would you sit up here and make it seem as if you just got on YouTube 5 or 6, 7 years ago? When you know that's not the case. Anyhow, enough of her. I only referenced that just to showcase the level of dishonesty of what we are dealing with. And why black men collectively should never waste their time finding themselves debating with these women. You just don't do it because there's absolutely nothing to gain out of it. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to show y'all some clips.
The thing that bothers me with men like Dr. Umar and men that are going to agree with Dr. Umar is the fact that you felt like me being trans was more of an issue for you to address than that. Which is something that I think is a fundamental issue within our community, is the fact that we are so willing and ready to walk away from each other than to figure this shit out. But what really burdens your grits and what really makes you upset, Dr. Umar, is that you sat there on that motherfucking live, that panel for an hour and a half with commercial breaks and all of that shit, and your little dick was jumping. And every time I opened my intelligent mouth, bitch, your little dick got a little harder. And you were just so motherfucking enthralled with this black queen that was spitting this motherfucking knowledge. And even if you didn't agree with everything that I was saying, bitch, you was down for it. Because when it comes down to the women that you claim that you like, bitch, on that panel, I was her. It's giving skin. It was giving fresh face. It was giving no cleavage. It was giving, I'm not giving it to everybody. It was giving African kente cloth. It was giving all of the things, and bitch, I set it up that way for a reason. I didn't go in and put on lashes or overdo my makeup. I barely brushed my motherfucking hair because I didn't want people to turn around and say, you can only fool us if you have all of that going on. You can only trick us if you have all of that going on. You can only be a woman if you have all of that going on. And it wasn't giving any of that. And you still sat there on the other end of that motherfucking screen, enthralled with my black, beautiful queen ass. And you did so on a public platform in front of everybody, and it's going to live forever, and you can never take it back because a whole bunch of motherfucking people have seen you call my trans ass a beautiful black queen on several occasions. And that's what you're really upset about. You could give less than a fuck about the fact that you were on the panel, that you didn't know or that you didn't know. The only thing that you're pressed about is the fact that you...
All right. How many of y'all remember this? And I probably should have asked that before I played the clip. How many of y'all know who this is? You know why that I played this clip? For those of you who don't know, this is a transgender from the Alphabet City community who was on a live stream on a debate I believe it was a Fox Soul debate with Dr. Umar Johnson, Cynthia G, and I think there was another guy on that panel. And I don't remember the host, but it was a black woman. I say this, or I play this clip for a reason, and this is what I mean when I say black men need to stop having debates with people who are completely fucking insane. Because you end up taking the goddamn loss. Years ago, over a decade ago, a black woman actually told me this, and the statement to this day still rings so profound. This is the most profound thing she's ever said to me. Never argue with a fool, because they will they will drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. I'm going to say that one more time for y'all. Never argue with a fool, because they will drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. It is way too often you have black men that want to sit around having a mic drop moment, wanting to verbally check somebody, wanting to have a dick swinging contest. And this is where all that dumbass shit gets you. You have Dr. Umar Johnson, regardless of whatever anybody thinks of him, he's a well-known man, a well-known black man. And listen, at the end of the goddamn day, brother, you should be too busy building your damn school to be sitting around holding goofy-ass debates and discussions with people like this. At this point in time, I don't give a damn about you winning a goddamn debate. Listen, I keep stating this, that back in 2020, was it 2015? That debate that I had with the pink pill, that was a waste of time and a loss for me. Because at the end of the goddamn day, you don't waste your time holding debates with people who are intellectually dishonest and intentionally being deceitful. It is a complete waste of your time. First of all, when it comes down to this panel and Hope Giselle, you had Umar Johnson sitting up here holding a debate with a black male hating feminist, which is Cynthia G. Possibly two of them with the host of the goddamn panel, because the host of the panel knew good and damn well that this is a transgender. Did not say nothing to Umar Johnson. Literally setting him up. Now, why Umar Johnson would even put himself in a situation to where this can happen, and let me just say this much. I heard Dr. Umar Johnson give compliments to both Cynthia G and Hope Giselle. What I'm going to say is this, as far as that's concerned, that's not an indictment on his sexuality. I don't think he's really attracted to Hope Giselle. But this is how it can be spun now when you find yourself in a pen. And most importantly is this. He did this on a panel that wasn't controlled by him. That's the problem. So you're going on to a female's panel, and see, y'all have not learned anything behind Ice Cube going on that Fox Soul panel back in 2020 to discuss his black agenda or his contract for Black America. And we've seen how that turned out. You had a man who's supposed to be discussing business, and here you are sitting around a bunch of women discussing business. I'm sorry, when it comes down to getting things done, you don't sit here bringing you don't bring individuals like this into the goddamn discussion. This is not about being fair. This is about getting shit done. I don't give a damn whether you like it or not, but you will respect the damn results when the shit is all said and done. See, when you're serious about getting something done, you don't bring women in there who are not contributing to the goddamn discussion. You don't bring women in there who are literally trying to tear you down. But this is far too often. We are sitting around holding mic drop moments and dick swinging contests. This is some of the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen. And based off of Umar Johnson putting himself in this scenario, as Hope Giselle just stated, is that this is out here forever. So when he wants to spin this any way he would like to try to make Umar Johnson look like something that he most likely is not, he will be able to use this clip and chop it up any way he feels fit. Oh, look at him. He's calling me a beautiful black queen. Now, let's just think about the level of delusion, because on one hand, these individuals want us to refer to them as women, and they're not. But then if you get caught out here complimenting them because you were unaware that you were not looking at a woman, that this is a biological man, then these same individuals will turn around and shame you and say that you're gay. Tell me how that makes sense. Because by that logic, what you are acknowledging is the fact that you are now and always will be a goddamn man. And I'm not even going to go ahead and give the respect of calling them men. What you are is an empty, broken shell of what you once were. That's what you are. And I'm going to make this perfectly clear. This is not based off of your sexuality. I don't care about anybody's sexual preference. That means absolutely nothing to me. And see, you have to understand when you are dealing with people who are completely delusional. You see, a lot of black women like being involved with individuals like this. They like having people like this as their besties. Some will even attempt to shame masculine heterosexual men into befriending individuals like this. And I had this a couple of years ago. One attempted to do so with me. And I made it clear to her, listen, that's not my gift. First of all, I'm not looking for friends. I keep my circle of people very small. If you weren't in my circle initially, then there's probably a reason why you're never going to get in there. But if you're being closed-minded. Being closed-minded how? Well, you by not wanting to be friends. Why do I need to be friends with them? Oh, you can learn something. What do I need to learn from them? What? I mean, first of all, I made it clear. This is not my forte. I don't rock with this. It is just that simple. And I'm going to make it perfectly clear that it's not their sexuality that bothers me. But knowing what I know as a man that can understand the environment that he is in, understanding that the climate changes and you have to be able to move according to that climate and when it changes. Because if you don't know how to switch up or move accordingly, that could be the last mistake you ever make. But as a man, I don't give a damn what your sexual orientation is. We are always being watched, especially black men. We are always being watched and sized up as black men. That's a fact. You are always being watched and sized up as a black man. Hell, even people that you cool with. I got people that I'm cool with say, what's up? Oh man, you a big dude. Damn, you strong. Let me test your I know people who do this when they see me. So if I'm being sized up by people that I know, that I'm cool with, that I say what's up to on a regular basis. Imagine people that you don't know. Imagine being in a different environment. And depending on how you move in society, on how you conduct yourself, how you present yourself is going to be the determination of whether you have to stay out of certain neighborhoods, whether it be at all times, or you can only go through certain neighborhoods or through certain times of the day, or whether you can go whatever the hell you want to at any given time by yourself. That's the difference. So when you present to me a feminized man who embraces his buck-broken behavior, as Cynthia G loves to say, but yet at the same time she loves to hang out with individuals like this. She's in pictures cuddled up with individuals like this. But she wants to refer to the masculine man as a buck-broken, dominated, conquered individual. But yet you don't have no problem with you don't have the same smoke for what? A self-castrating man. The problem that I have with individuals like this is, like I said, you're being sized up everywhere you go. And when you have someone like this who can't grasp reality, who's completely disconnected from his own reality, thinks he's something else, and now wants you to address him as such. No, I cannot have that around me. Because that's the type of shit that's going to get you killed. That's the kind of shit that's going to get you sized up and tested. That's the type of shit that's going to put you in a dangerous situation. Let me get back to my initial backdrop. So when you have men that think like this is an overall problem. And the fact that a female would invite Umar Johnson onto this panel, knowing that, I'm pretty sure that Hope Giselle told him, just based off of what Hope Giselle stated, I'm pretty sure he told the host of this panel, don't let it be known that this is a transgender. Why? Because the whole thing was geared off of deception. Because if you can't beat Umar Johnson intellectually, well, maybe we can get him on his sexuality being that question. This is why you black men don't sit around here holding these goddamn debates with individuals who think like this. The problem is far too many of you want to sit around here debating with people who are flat out fucking delusional. Doesn't matter if you won the debate, you still lost. The fact that you were even on that panel to begin with, a place in an environment that you should have never been at. There's a reason why you've never heard me call into any of these feminist panels. I have absolutely nothing to say to them. Now, if I got something I want to say about them, I'm on my panel, I'll do it here. I'm not calling into your panel to say nothing to you. So you black men are not setting the precedent when you do this. What you're showcasing is that they can easily lure you into their nonsense. And see, at some point, y'all got to realize that shaming these individuals don't work. And as a matter of fact, speaking of that, there's a scene in the movie The Money Train where Wesley Snipes, his adopted brother, his stepbrother, Woody Harrelson, if I'm saying it right. Well, there was some Italian guy by the name of Mr. Brown, bald-headed white guy. He owed him lots of money. And Wesley Snipes managed to negotiate a deal to where, listen, we'll pay you back little by little. Just give us some time. And the time was coming and gone, and there was no money being deposited. No money, no payments were being made, or every time a payment was attempted to be made, something would go wrong in this man's life. So when this would happen, they would show up and beat up Woody Harrelson. They beat him up. And then the last time they got tired of it, Mr. Brown said, listen, we can't keep doing this with you because obviously this has no effect on you. So I'm going to have to do something different here that I'm being forced to do. That I normally wouldn't do, but I'm being forced here. I'm not going to get into everything else that was stated, but I just want people to listen to that particular statement. We can't keep doing this with you because it obviously has no effect on you. Cynthia G. All right? Black women collectively. Black men have been calling out these weaves and wigs for the longest. Shaming them means absolutely nothing because they still will continue to get on a panel or walk out in public with these ridiculous weaves on and feel no ways about it. What am I saying when once you come to understand this, what am I saying? Or what's my response to that? Is we can't keep doing this with you because obviously this has no effect on you. So shaming individuals with that mindset means nothing. You can tell Cynthia G she's been clowned from 10 different ways from Sunday, but will still get her raggedy ass on camera and put on one of these ridiculous weaves sounding like a complete fucking idiot. And yet and still, black men, despite all of the debates that have happened over the years, are still talking about, let's hold a goddamn debate. No, my thing is, we can't keep doing this with you because obviously this has no effect on you. And when you realize that something has no effect on somebody else, then at some point you got to understand something different. Different things need to be done here if we're going to solve this problem. But obviously shaming you means absolutely nothing. Because despite the fact that no matter how ridiculous that countless brothers tell you, you look with this shit on, y'all still gonna go out here and continue to do the ridiculous shit that y'all have been doing and see nothing wrong with it. Oh, I look good. Look at me. And we'll let you know you're dealing with individuals who are dishonest because when you ask black women who do this and put on weaves and wigs on a regular basis, say, well, listen, sister, why do you wear this on a regular basis? Why do you put this on all the time? How come I have not seen your natural hair? They'll respond back and tell you, well, listen, we do this because we got no choice. In order to get hired, we have to be seen like this. Well, if that's the case, any job that I've worked for where I have to wear a uniform, when I get off of that job, I take off that uniform. The current job that I work at now, I don't put the uniform on until I get into the vicinity, and I take it off immediately before leaving the vicinity. That way, why? Because I'm not being paid to wear your uniform, so therefore I don't represent your company unless I am being paid to do so. So if that's the excuse they were giving you, fine. We should see something very similar. It's one thing, okay, before you go to work, you put it on. Before you get to work, you leave, you come home, you take it off. No, you're taking these pictures in your social media accounts. Hell, I remember talking to one years ago, and one of the things she was telling me had a full head of natural hair, beautiful hair. And I kept on trying to tell her, why don't you embrace this? wouldn't embrace it, but was excited for some wig to come in that she could put on. And when she got it, when it finally came in, you should have seen how happy she was. Playing in hair that wasn't hers, excited, like a little child. I couldn't believe it. But this is what we're dealing with. But when you encounter this mind frame, you have to realize, obviously, I can't keep doing this with you because this has no effect on you. So therefore, when you realize it has no effect, you don't keep wasting your time going back and forth with things like this. You understand the nature of what you're dealing with and why you don't waste your time ever debating individuals like this. Now, let's get to the next clip. Fair use, fair use.
So ladies, look, just divest. Abort and divest. Just divest. Abort and divest.
The average male struggles to build this value, and so they depend on women to get their value built. Have you heard men say, our past don't matter as a man. Y'all past matter more as a woman. You know why? Because women are born with value. Women have to preserve their value, so this is the reason why her past matters. This is the reason why we need to know how many bodies you got, right? We need to know your past because we need to know that you preserve value. We, on the other hand, our past doesn't matter as men because we're born with no value. We have to build value, and we don't get our value don't come until around 30 or 35 or 40.
All right. I wanted y'all to listen to that clip. Now, I'll just touch base on two things that were stated. This female is stating that women are born with value and men are not born with value. This is the only thing that I want to touch base on briefly, just for the order for the sake of saving time. But what is she basing the value of women off of? Physical beauty and sex. That's what she's basing it. So pretty much, if they're born being attractive, that gives them value. If they're, she says this as if physical attraction is only relegated to one particular gender. As if males cannot be attractive when they're younger. I mean, I was one of them. I think I told y'all a story about when I was 5 years old. I had these 11-year-old girls. I mean, never mind. They were just, every minute they were just constantly calling me Darryl Strawberry, to a point I got tired of dealing with it. And I started to get agitated. But if we're basing things off of sex and physical attraction, once again, that goes on either end, because you have men who can be born attractive, likewise with women who can be born attractive. Just like you have women who can be born unattractive and men who are born unattractive. So if we're basing things off of looks and we're saying, well, there's two different value systems, I would agree that there are two different value systems. But the fact of the matter is, if you're saying that the woman's value is what women value men for is the amount of money that they can produce, then that, it can easily be debunked, because a lot of y'all are dealing with broke, dusty dudes that can merely just lay pipe down. So how were these dudes getting up in your guts every damn night if your value system is based off of your money? There's absolutely no consistency to this. They don't double check what actually goes on in reality. How are these females getting knocked up by these broke, busted, dusty? And most of the time, some of these dudes aren't even that attractive. So if you're basing it off of physical attraction, that a woman has value just because of that, and men, we have to build value. Well, if I say, okay, we're talking about physical attraction, well, women don't value physical attraction like that. If that was the case, if you're valuing the money, you need to explain to me, how does Robert Perkins end up knocking up Cynthia G? Explain that. I don't know what his financial status is, but we know he has quite a few children. And dude, let me just say this much about you. You ought to be embarrassed that you're getting involved with females like this. It seems like every chance there is a black male bashing female, you get one of these females saying the most despicable things about black men, and here you come getting with your little heart on, trying to get up in these nasty ass females. I mean, there is a serious problem when you have simp ass men who run around doing shit like this. My indictment on you, dude, is not based off of how many kids you got, but the fact that you are getting a hard on, getting erections off of black male hating females. That this is what turns you on. You ought to be ashamed of your goddamn self. But anyhow, let me digress because this is not about him. This is just to point out the lunacy within the statements that was made by this crazy female just a little while ago. Now, I sat back and I watched the debate that took place between her and the saints and sinners. And I'll say this much. The saints and sinners strikes me as an intelligent brother, well-rounded, well-read, well-traveled. And I'll say this, there is absolutely nothing to be gained out of having a debate with a female like this. Nothing. Because someone like her knows that she has nothing to lose. And I'll say this, in the first 10 minutes, she was done in that debate. Did he did he verbally, intellectually destroy her? Absolutely. But what was to gain from it, I don't know, because you were dealing with somebody who was flat out fucking insane. And when you are dealing with people who are this insane, you don't waste your time holding debates, mic drop contests, dick and tit swinging contests. You leave them alone. Why? Because you're not coming to a common ground. Let's try to work this out and see where we can sort out our differences. That's not what this is about. The saints and sinners stated that, yeah, you want to be a man. And listen, I'm going to go ahead and have to conclude that point. Because we know she's a lesbian who has a child that first lied about her marriage, said, well, I'm married. Okay, are you with the husband? But your husband just dropped off your child and left. So is he coming back? No, well, we're separated. Are you serious? So right then and there, it lets you know that you're being dishonest, just like I pointed out earlier when it came down to another individual being dishonest. Simple information, they can't give you an honest answer. And when you realize you were dealing with somebody like this, and here you are, you failed. When it comes down to dealing with the opposite sex, you are a failure. You have an attraction, a physical attraction to the opposite sex. Why? Because we got videos of you from years ago talking about how black men are kings and gods and a bunch of goofy shit. So obviously you have an attraction for the opposite sex, but you have no success with them. So your last resort, your consolation prize was to get a woman. And she's sitting here talking about, well, the woman is the prize, so I might as well go after the woman. So she's trying to play the role of a man. And I'm just going to say this much. I'll give you one simple reason to why you don't have a debate with somebody like this. Especially if you conclude that she's trying to be a man. And this is all I would have said to her. And I don't know, what does her name go by? I can't even remember. Something about, I can't remember. But if y'all seen the debate, y'all know what I'm talking about. She's another one that's on the ranks of a Cynthia G. But here's what I would have said to her. Here's the reason why I would never debate you. Because at the end of the damn day, you are a cheap imitation and a wannabe of a man. Okay? I am the real fucking thing. You can never be me, little nigga. Just that simple. Therefore, there is absolutely nothing to debate. Well, you're not going to hold? No. Because you are a wannabe cheap imitation of what I am. I'm the real fucking McCoy. I got real bass in my voice. I grow a natural hair out of my damn face, mustache, whatever. I naturally produce testosterone. You are a cheap imitation wannabe. And this is why you don't waste your time dealing with individuals like this. Because an individual like this, you can make her look stupid for days. It means nothing. Because she has nothing to lose at this point in time. Females like this have absolutely nothing to lose. So when you bring them onto your panel, brothers, what you are doing is you are giving someone who really does not deserve clout. And from what was stated on the Saints and Sinners pod and on the debate that he had with her, that she was on Fresh and Fit and got destroyed over there. So what she's doing is she's going around the popular male content creators' channels trying to gain clout. And I'm going to tell y'all this much. Y'all have absolutely nothing to gain holding a debate with people like this. What black men need to start demonstrating is that we're not here to debate you. We're too busy about our business. You want to debate, go over there and go argue with the fucking women. We ain't doing this shit over here. This is the precedent you need to start setting. Because every time you debate with them or engage with them, they're going to tell you, obviously, you got too much to do because you sitting here arguing with me, because they know they're fucking crazy. And if she knows she's crazy, how do you look engaging with someone who is outright fucking crazy? That's not a good look for you, man. This is a position that you never want to be in. And y'all need to start understanding how these other races of men operate. When it comes down to their women being out of line, they don't sit around holding debates and mic drop moments. They don't sit around having dick swinging contests. They set precedents. And one thing that's going to let you know that a lot of black women are full of shit, especially these goddamn divestors. All right, I'm going to say them above all else. They love talking about being oppressed and that black men are the greatest threat. They talk all sorts of bullshit. But what took place earlier this year? Does any of y'all remember? You heard of Tierra Allen, a.k.a. the Sassy Trucker? I'm sure all of y'all heard about that at some point. This is a black woman that went over to Dubai, was planning on starting a truck driving company in Dubai. Why the hell would she do that? Hell, I don't know. This just lets you know how fucking delusional some of y'all can be. But ends up getting her ass locked up. Because the car that her friend was driving, they got into an accident with somebody. And she ended up getting locked up. Long story short, the lockup led to her, she was yelling. Got into a yelling fest with a citizen that worked at the car rental agency. What did those men do when she did this? Did they sit around holding a mic drop moment? Did they sit around verbally checking her? Did they sit around having a dicks and tit swinging contest? Absolutely not. What did they do? They let her know, okay, you in our country, you're going to respect our damn rules whether you like it or not. Get your black ass in jail. And they locked her up, took her passport, took her personal belongings, to the point, according to what they're stating, they tried to extort her. Now, my question is, why would these women spend so much time wanting to go to Dubai out of all places? I don't know. You're dealing with the Arabics. And see, these females know nothing about real oppression because those men aren't going to put up with the bullshit that you do over here in that country. The moment you get out of line, you're getting hemmed up. It's just that fucking simple. You can cry, you can beg, you can plead. No, you're going to deal with the goddamn consequences. You're going to learn to show some damn respect. Now, Tierra Allen was there for 3 months? I think I think she was Hispanic. So I'm not going to but she got hemmed up over there too. But I'm not going to get into that. But Tierra Allen was over there for roughly around 3 months. No one knows what the hell was going on when she was locked up in the prison or whatever was taking place over there. And I believe the day that she actually left, had she not left that day and would have stayed there another day, they would have taken her passport and put a travel ban on her ass all over again. So now you are trapped in another man's country where you have no protection, no nothing. My question is, where were your divestors? Where were your BWE content creators? Where can anybody showcase or has any remnants of a Cynthia G video where she did speaking in the defense of this woman who was literally locked in a foreign nation, being detained in a foreign nation? Nobody knows what's happening to you in this foreign nation. Show me where you see any of the usual suspects that love to come out here and talk about black men being the worst threat they've ever seen, and we got to eliminate them by a retroactive abortion. This is a bunch of nonsense. But now when you have a black woman experiencing real oppression, y'all have absolutely nothing to say. And some of y'all might say, well, that's not oppression. She broke the rules. Okay, listen, I'm not here to argue that. What I'm going to say is this. They could have just said, get out of our country, don't come back. You need to pack up and leave immediately and don't come back to this country. If you come back again, then we'll lock you up. No, they just slapped the damn cuffs on her. And now, mind you, she's not even the one that got into the accident. Now, she's been in the U.S. for what, about 2 months now? And even when she finally spoke up about this, do you think she came out here and spoke negatively about Dubai? No. And this is where I want you black men to start picking this up. I want y'all to understand this. She didn't speak negative about that country. When they asked her, do you plan on going back to that country again? She said, not right now, maybe down the line. So she's still open to going there. Now, what do you see all over social media? A bunch of goofy ass females posting pictures of their trips over to Dubai. Many of y'all who can't afford these goddamn trips. So how are you going here multiple times a damn year unless somebody's paying you to engage in extracurricular activities, if you know what I'm saying? But notice they don't have nothing to say about that. That's not oppression to them. That's not exploitation as far as they're concerned. So what it lets me know is that black women really don't have a problem with somebody putting a foot in their ass. They have no problem with that. Likewise with Cynthia G, when them white dudes checked her. She said nothing about that. Kept quiet. As a matter of fact, she'll get online talking about how much they deserve submission and respect because they earned it. This is what she'll tell you. But a black man goes out here and dates somebody outside of his race, that's oppression, to the point where these females will go out their way to start randomly stalking random individuals who are in their relationships with their non-black partner. Who the hell does this? You see, y'all got so much heat for black men, but men who will keep a foot in your ass the moment you get out of line with them, y'all say absolutely nothing. Like I said, Tierra Allen, despite the fact that she went over there and dealt with some exploitation, literally extortion is what they were trying to do. Pay us some money up and maybe we'll let you go. Despite the fact that this is what happened, she still won't speak anything negative about that country. She knows to keep her damn mouth shut. Even though she's thousands of miles away now and should be ringing the bell, warning black women, but she's not doing it. She's keeping her goddamn mouth shut. Why? Because she respects consequences. She knows when somebody going to check that ass. All right, let me not do that again. But what was it? They had a video of her in Puerto Rico throwing a drink on another black man. See, they have no problem doing this with you, black man. It's okay to disrespect you, black man, because there's no consequence in it once they do it. They know they can get away with it. They're going to be protected. Nobody's going to come check them. This is why they can make videos and live streams talking about who going to check me, boo. That is a direct slap in the face to black men. However, they would not dare say that to the Arabic man. They would not dare say, most certainly won't say that to the white man. They're going to keep their mouth shut and bow down and get in line. So not only does it let you know that they're disingenuous, but furthermore, you're fucking cowards. Because as I told y'all before, black men are the easiest target that you could go after. You can sit up here and talk about aborting our babies because they're male. Black and male. And those videos can step and you can gain profits of up to $240,000 a year espousing this garbage. Do you think that what's her name? Ashley Bellinger was the only one? Was the first one or the only one to go ahead and report this shit? I'm pretty sure this channel has been reported for years and YouTube said, fuck you. Oh, it's black men complaining about this? Nah, the hell out of here with that. We ain't got a problem with this. Not only can we let it stay up, but we're going to keep it monetized. And guess what? She's going to get a shitload of money off of it. It wasn't until a white woman that has reach in long places stepped up and said, hey, listen, what the fuck is up with this? Just one woman, bam, oh shit, no, we didn't realize this. We are so sorry about this. And we're going to demonetize that and take down the videos immediately. And we also put a strike and suspension on the channel. But black men complain about this. Nothing gets done. We see the way black men are treated when it comes down to politics. They talk down to us in politics. And this is something that takes place in almost every aspect in life. And this is why I'm telling you, black men, the last thing you need to do is find yourself sitting around holding debates, mic drop moments, and dick swinging contests with females like this. I'm not here to hold a goddamn debate with you. Done and demonstrated to this individual. Now she's going to be humbled, whether she likes it or not. You got black men who are going to get online and say, well, I don't think they should terminate our channel, man. You couldn't do that. See, we don't need to have her to remove. We need to have a debate. Fuck a goddamn debate. At what point in time do y'all start understanding to set the precedent You're not respected because you have not demonstrated that there is a consequence behind disrespecting you as a damn man. This is an attack on your masculinity. And at some point, you better start realizing what other groups of people do. Other races of women deal with real oppression. You will never find them talking shit about their own race of men the way you have black women in such an abundance who do it to us every goddamn day. There was another Cynthia G wannabe every single day. Some of these females who have never had a bad experience with black men, but who want to sit up and align with these goddamn talking points and want to espouse this garbage. And instead of y'all realizing this is to the damn detriment, this is a serious problem. Cynthia G is dangerous. That channel does not deserve to be on any fucking platform. This is why I say I don't give a damn what the hell happens to her. Because we see she know how to get some act right when white boys come along and check her. Oh yeah, she know how to apologize and submit her damn self. Get down on your knees. Polish these goddamn boots. Don't get out of goddamn line. Make sure my food and dinner's cooked the right way. And, well, I'm not going to go there. Let me not go there. Let me just catch myself right now. Bottom line is we see the response that they get. And when she realized she couldn't go down these avenues talking about other groups, she made black men her primary target because it's safe to do so. I got a problem that black men weren't able to get this channel taken down. Not even black women, the ones who were reporting this, were able to get this channel taken down. It took a white woman who has nothing to do with this space who's seen this shit and said, yo, this is a problem. As an example, a live stream that I was on with Brian Solange back in 2021, for the tribute to David Carroll. And we talked about how a woman by the name of, what's her name? Mia Gaddafi or whatever her name is. I don't remember the name. It's a porn star. One of these Arabic or Indian women who came to the United States and started doing porn. And it became perfectly well known that the men of her damn country had a problem with something that she did. They threatened her. She's thousands of miles away. But she still acquiesced when they told her, you better cut this shit out. She still bowed down and said, let me not play these games. Let me not play with these men. Let me just stop doing what I'm doing. Because I want no parts of that damn smoke. See, she understood that even though you might not date them anymore, even though you might do something that's completely against their culture, you better show respect, despite the fact they are thousands of miles away. Now, people don't have to agree with that, but I just want you to notice how other groups of people function. They didn't sit around and say, hey, let's invite her onto this panel and have a damn live stream. No, they're not doing that. They're letting it be known we don't play this fucking shit. And if this continues, there's going to be consequences. Black people have not demonstrated a consequence. The fact that you have George Zimmerman still walking safe and sound to the point where he can go out and start trolling black people and mocking the death of Trayvon Martin and remain unscathed, that right there is an indictment on us as a collective. This is a part of the reason why people, when they want to go ahead and get big, they control black people. But particularly black men, when it comes down to the nonsense that we deal with when it comes down to black women, for those of you who sit up here and talk about, well, we need to have a debate and Cynthia G's panel shouldn't be taken down, we should sit down and discuss this, and no, you ought to be a damn shame of yourself. Right now, what black men need is not to sit around winning debates, having meaningless, useless mic drop moments, having useless dick swinging contests. Black men collectively need to start demonstrating a consequence. That you don't disrespect our image, you don't disrespect our reputation. That there are consequences if you go out here and do this. People respect consequences, and there's always the statement that goes, you ain't got to like it, but god damn it, you will respect me. And that's the path that black men collectively need to be on. Stop sitting around holding debates with people who are outright insane, because a person who is insane has absolutely nothing to lose. That Priscilla, crazy nut job female that I just played a little while ago, she has nothing to lose when she gets onto these bigger panels and takes a damn loss. And just as an example, to let you know how they operate. When she knew she had nothing to work with, when she was defeated, it was like an hour and some change she'd been on the panel. She then started, now mind you, I'm going to assume or conclude, I don't know if this is accurate or not, but I'm going to assume that she reached out to saints and sinners to have this debate. So you reached out to him, but now that you're on his panel and you can't come up with a logical argument, I mean, this is the same individual who is saying that animals engage in homosexuality with giraffes and lions and whatnot. This is complete nonsense, insanity. Who the hell would waste their time having a debate with someone who's this far out of their damn mind? But as time went on and she realized she had nothing to work with, she then starts talking about, well, you're wasting my time. I got other things to do. Well, wait a second. What do you mean I'm wasting your goddamn time? And I'm going to tell you, brother, something right now, because what ended up happening, when she realized she couldn't win, when she couldn't get the upper hand, what they then start doing is they start trying to find any way they can be condescending as they can to you, talk down to you. And after they said all they needed to say, they get up and I'm ready to go. I got to go. And she got off the panel, leaving on her terms. And I'm going to tell you, brother, something right now. When you come across these out-of-pocket females and they're in your spaces, you don't let them leave on their damn terms. You be the one to either get them out or don't let them in there at all. As an example I'll give you is this. I don't know if y'all remember a brother by the name of the Irritated Genie. I believe he's been banned from YouTube. But we know that he's not down for the Alphabet City community. We know that. He was given a presentation, and one of these females showed up at his presentation and tried to sneak this in there. You know, I like what you're talking about, but I wish you would be more inclusive. And he made it clear one time, listen, we're not about that, so please respect what we're about over here. And she started it all over again. And right then and there was no discussion to be had. There was no debates. There was no mic drop moments. Security, get her ass out of here. I warned you. I told you we ain't doing this. Now I'm going to tell you, get the hell out of here. Security, please escort her ass out of the goddamn building. And that's how you deal with that. I've told y'all about doing rideshare. And I have some of these females that get in my damn car and then try to argue with me over my damn rules because you're trying to have drinks and food in my fucking car. And I'm telling you, you can't do that. Well, why do you have that rule? This is my car. This is not up for discussion. So either you're going to follow the rules or you're going to get the hell out. I don't give a fuck what you do, but you're not eating in this goddamn car. How am I supposed to get home? I don't give a shit how you get home. As long as you sitting in my shit, you're going to follow my goddamn rules. This is not up for discussion. Either you're going to put that shit, wrap it up and put it away, or you getting the fuck out. It's just that damn simple. I don't waste my time debating with females like this. And unfortunately, I've only had this with black women. Only with black women. A white woman gets in the car, if she has food in a bag or whatever, she makes it clear to her kids, listen, don't mess up this man's car. We ain't eating no food in here because, listen, your car is your baby, I know. And listen, this is not a matter of me bigging up any goddamn body, but I'm saying other races of people understand this and they don't even argue these points. They just respect it. Why? Because you're sitting in somebody else's shit. Because the one thing you're not going to do is sit up in my shit and disrespect me. You're getting the hell out immediately. Get the fuck out. There's nothing to discuss here. You don't get to leave on your own terms. As soon as I pull this bitch over, you getting the fuck out. There's nothing else to discuss. Oh, take me here. No, you getting out right over here. That's how you deal with that. You don't dictate anything over here. You don't have to say so on anything over here. Why? Because you're sitting in somebody else's shit. So learn how to follow the goddamn rules when you're in somebody else's shit. And this is how you black men need to start dealing with these females. First of all, like I said, don't let them on your panels. Don't hold debates with them. Now, if they happen to call in and you notice they're talking crazy, you give them one chance to straighten their shit out. And if they're not going to do that, it's time for you to go. And with all that being stated, that's all I got to say in this production. And I'll catch you on a later date.